Our good friends over at SFX Magazine have walloped us in the face with some interviews with Terry Matalas, Jonathan Frakes and Gates McFadden ahead of the release of Star Trek Picard's third season on the 16th of February. Now, before we go into all that, please make sure you're doing all the usuals. Follow us over on Twitter at Trek Culture and on Instagram at Trek Culture YT. Follow myself, Sean Ferrick. Follow the editor, the wonderful at Edit Chris Edit. Yous are all awesome. To summarize this entire set of news and to tease you, this is the end. Or is it? Looking ahead to season 3 of Star Trek Picard, what we are really getting from this drop of news is that things we knew already. This is a massive cinematic event. Everyone is back. Everyone gets something to do. But what this set of interviews is really hammering home is that while this might be the end of Star Trek Picard, it is not necessarily the end of Star Trek The Next Generation. Interviewed by Darren Scott for SFX, Terry Matalas confirmed that, in a way, he'd rather look at this series not so much as Star Trek Picard, but almost as Star Trek Legacy, because it follows on directly, of course, from The Next Generation, but also brings in Voyager. We sort of knew that already in the fact that it features 7 of 9, but the fact that they're really making a point of this makes me wonder, are we going to see a little bit more? Not only that, but they also discuss revisiting Deep Space Nine as well. If not the actual station, I am assuming via the character of Worf, we will get some idea of what's been happening with the crew of Deep Space Nine in the years that have passed since Nemesis. Having said all of that, when asked if season 3 of Picard was always going to be the great return of The Next Generation, Matalas was very quick to shut that down. Frankly, no, he said. He came onto the show during season 2, which meant he was not a part of the plans during season 1 at all. And in season 1, it was most definitely not the plan. They all talk about how it had to feel earned, that they had to get there. And in discussions with Patrick Stewart, Akiva Goldsman and Alex Kurtzman during season 2, those plans, they started to solidify just a little bit more. There was a degree of convincing everyone, but look, obviously it's paid off. When asked at recent Comic-Con about, would this be the end for all of these characters as well, a lot of the cast were quick to go, no. And what I mean by that is that a lot of them were saying this could easily lead to a film, to another series, that this feels like a return, not just a return to say goodbye, but a return to form. Terry Matalas reiterated the point that he has made in previous interviews, saying that no one is particularly safe going into this season. So it's not like all previous Star Treks where you pretty much know that when all the main characters beam down to a planet, they're all coming back again. The Rikers have been through enough. They've lost Thad. We've already killed Picard in season 1. I mean, there's no atoms left of Data. Leave him alone. Worf lost his wife. Come on, just be nice to everyone, can we, please? He did, however, further elaborate that this season not only sees the return of The Next Generation, but also something of a passing of the torch to the next generation. There's been speculation as to what that means. Well, straight away, we can go with the LaForge family. Both Sydney and Alandra LaForge feature in this season, along with, of course, the return of Geordi. So, are we going to see a return of Kestra Riker as well? Is Wesley Crusher going to beam in as the captain of the Enterprise F? Is Alexander Roshenko going to be the best warrior that Kronos has ever seen? All right, that's stretching it a little bit. Off the back of that statement, it does suggest that it's not simply the cast of the crew of the Enterprise D that we're going to see, that there is a wider scope as well. Something that I'm excited for, because I am very excited to see these characters return, but I want to see what they've been doing in the past couple of decades. Obviously, we've seen that with the Rikers. Did everyone just stop at the end of Nemesis? Obviously not. So I want to see what that looks like now, 20 years later. Matalas also went on to say that if there is to be something after season 3, if there is to be another series and other movies, it's down to the fans. And there is historical precedent for this. Think about between seasons 2 and season 3 of the original series. That amazing letter writing campaign spearheaded by Bijo and John Trimble got the show back for another season. Then the fan clamoring at conventions helped the animated series, and then later the film series get off the ground. And in recent years, fans have been responsible for getting Star Trek Strange New Worlds greenlit. To say that it's up to the fans, that actually is a very direct call to action for people like us who want to see more of this era of Star Trek. We want to see post-Nemesis, but we don't want to go as far as the 32nd century. We want to see what's going on in this time and place. Yes, we have a little of that with Lower Decks. Yes, we have a little of that with Prodigy. Call me a sucker. I like live action as well, so I want to see more in that world. We have an ally in Terry Matalas. He wants to see more TNG. He also said that he wants to see more Voyager. Specifically, he wants to see the return of Janeway and how her relationship with Seven of Nine has evolved in the couple of decades since Voyager returned to the Alpha Quadrant. One of the things that's really special about this issue of SFX is the exclusive interviews, not just with Terry Matalas, but also with Jonathan Frakes and Gates McFadden. There are some absolute pearls in here. I don't want to give too much away, but if I just look at Frakes just for a second, he definitely seems to be, kind of on the same boat that this might not be the end. There's also a very cool little tidbit about the Strange New Worlds Lower Decks crossover that we know is coming up in season 2 of Strange New Worlds. Check it out for that alone, if nothing else. But to go to the point again about Frakes saying that this might not be the end, the fun thing there is how Jonathan Frakes seems to be feeling completely the opposite to Captain Riker, because in a little teaser that was dropped online there recently ahead of the upcoming American kickball game that's taking place this Sunday, there is a couple of more shots of the Enterprise F. There's a pretty cool voiceover from Patrick Stewart that, seems to be very much in the spirit of all those soccer ball speeches and inspirational things. It's about we'll push forward and, we'll face the baddie and everything. But in this clip, we specifically have Riker stating, "This is the end, my friend." Well, you've got a bit of a dichotomy there, don't you? So yes, it seems like Terry Matalas seems to have confirmed online that there will be another trailer for Star Trek Picard Season 3 dropping during that big soccer bowl thing that's happening this weekend. I believe it's some sort of sports event. I'm going to stick with Parisi Squares myself. Who knows what that's going to reveal? Are we going to get more shots of the Enterprise F? Yes, please. Are we going to get, the reveal, the glorious reveal of Sela or something? Yes, Sela has been absolutely confirmed to be not appearing in Season 3 of Star Trek Picard, but I can dream, damn it. I can dream. In the meantime, make sure that you pick up that lovely collector's edition of SFX magazine. Remember, you can catch us all on Twitter at Trek Culture. You can catch us on Instagram at Trek Culture YT. Catch myself at Sean Ferrick, and you can catch Chris at Chris Edit on Twitter as well. Yous are all awesome. Stay tuned to this channel because we have got more content coming up for you this week. What could it be about? In the meantime, you look after yourselves. Make sure you live long and prosper. To all of our friends in Ukraine, stay strong. Our friends around the world, you are awesome. You are amazing. Have a good one. Make it so.